Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk about something that's very, very important. I'm going to talk about arthritis, both osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. So if you have either one of these, watch this entire video. It's going to change your life. Now, maybe you've heard of, like maybe your grandmother recommending chicken soup, or some folklore that chicken soup actually helps arthritis. Well, it actually does, and it's been scientifically proven, but not from the vegetables. And I'm going to go through like why it works. Here's the thing. Let's just say there's a chain of events that occur in someone's life, and sometimes you see people in their 50s or 60s or 70s. All of a sudden, out of the blue, they lose their joint, like their hip joint or their knee joint, like just bone on bone, for no reason. They're not jogging. They didn't really have a major injury. Maybe they did as a child, but not as an adult. Why does that joint disappear? And it can happen in the shoulder as well. Well, here's how it works. Let's say you're a kid and you fall on your knee or your hip and you jam the joint and you create a little bit of a micro tear. Well, what happens, small tiny pieces of that joint can leak into the joint. It's the space, the synovial fluid in there. And your own body's immune system will recognize that as a foreign material and start to build up things that are going to attack it, because it thinks it's a foreign body, so it's going to build up antibodies, which is against the body, to attack these particles. And let's say but it doesn't necessarily get activated until you get maybe in your 40s or 30s, when you have maybe some stress or a loss, and bam, the whole thing kicks in there. The whole cascade of things occurs because you have this chain reaction where you have tissue, your own body's tissue, leaking into the joint, maybe even the bloodstream, the immune system building up antibodies towards it, and now you develop what's called an autoimmune disease, or autoimmune condition, I like to call it, where that means your body's attacking itself. So your own immune system is attacking, because now it not only thinks this is bad, it thinks the whole joint is bad. So you have constant inflammation, right? That's why people take steroids, prednisone, because those are anti-inflammatories. But behind it, underneath it, there's an autoimmune thing going on. And so over time, your immune system will literally destroy that joint. And that's how it works. So many people have that condition, they don't even know what's going on. All right? Now, what do you do about it? Why does chicken soup help that? Well, it's not the vegetables. What is in chicken soup? You actually have collagen. You have cartilage in the chicken soup. Small amounts. And it's not that you have to eat that collagen to build up your own collagen. That will never, ever work. It has to do with several research studies they've done recently and in the past. In fact, this guy named Royal Lee, back in 1940, found out how to do this well before you see the current researchers making these different studies and showing the same principle. They found that if you ingest cartilage from a chicken, it goes through the body and it acts as a decoy. So very simply, I'm going to try to make this really simple. You could actually take a small amount of a chicken cartilage, which is basically identical to your cartilage. So there's no difference between the cartilage of a chicken and the cartilage of your body, okay, your joints. So you take this little piece of collagen, okay, or cartilage, it goes in your stomach, and it gets digested. And it goes through your lymphatic system, which is immigration. So it gets a stamp of approval through immigration. That's how it works. And so what happens is your antibodies are going to sense that there's cartilage in your stomach. So these antibodies are going to be redirected to the stomach. And this solution is very, very amazing strategic-wise, because by adding this decoy allows the joint inflammation to go way down to the point where this can start to heal. Now, if you have bone and bone, it's probably too late. But if it's starting to wear out, I'm highly recommending you do this. You can find this collagen or cartilage online, or any health food store has it. It's called undenatured type 2 collagen, or UC2. That's what you want to get. I don't recommend any brand. I don't sell it. You can just find it anywhere, okay? So you start taking this in your stomach. It'll start to, over time, slowly deplete your antibody reserve that has been attacking your joints. And when you start to deplete all these antibodies, you have a lot less inflammation in your joints, and you can start to heal. So it's an amazing strategy, but I wanted to explain why it works, because it's acting as a decoy. Now, if you notice, when they recommend to take this, it's always before bed. Why? Because if you take a little too much, you can create a little bit of an immune reaction, but it's really only some fatigue or some achiness. Okay, that's the worst case scenario. And that's why if you take it before you go to bed, you probably just sleep it off and you'll sleep deeper and you won't even know it. Okay? But if you don't understand what's happening, you might say, wow, I might be allergic to those pills, and that may be worse, or I feel more achy after taking it. I better avoid that. No, it's working. It's just working too fast. Does that make sense? So if you have an immune reaction when you take this, take the capsule in half and only take half, and take it right before bed on an empty stomach so you don't confuse all these different proteins, especially protein. And you take one of these before bed, and within about, if you have like a mild fatigue, you'll sleep better, and maybe you're a little bit more tired the next day, but you just keep doing that. Keep doing it every day for about a week or two, and you'll adjust to that, and you won't have any more reactions to that. And then you want to continue to take this until all the inflammation is gone from your joints. It's an amazing, simple, safe solution. I love the strategy because there's no side effects, and it's been totally substantiated by numerous studies, and I'm going to put the links below. But this is the relationship. So yes, you can do chicken soup, but the undenatured type 2 collagen, undenatured means completely undestroyed. So it's not cooked, it's not heated. So you get the exact collagen that you need that goes in there, and I think it's going to work better than chicken soup. But apparently this is going to give you some collagen or cartilage, and that's why that works, to reduce inflammation. All right? So go ahead and try it, and let me know how it works. I'll see you in the next video. Hey, before you go, if you're benefiting from any of my content, I would love to hear about your success story. Please share it in the link down below.